Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando. And, I just got this video here. Through the Spirit, I'm going to see how much of it that I play. And I want to first, mention or rather proclaim the copyright disclaimer, because this is straight off of Haman. I mean, excuse me, vocab Malone. Is pretty much speaking with this ex ICGJC member, and pretty much just spilling the beans on what was going on up inside that organization. And like I said, just wanted to speak on it. Speak on this, do my response. Akim, that are around me know my testimony, as I was a part of the ICGJC for 10 years, until the Lord had me, pretty much the Lord removed me from that group. Was fishing for a little bit because, before the Lord led me to where I am now, which is under the, following the doctrine of Great Millstone, which I believe wholeheartedly is the 100% truth, But, every brother, brothers come from all different walks of life. So with that being said, you got brothers out there that come from, because, it's one thing alone. Brothers, we all pretty much grew up under the whole Roman Catholicism in one way, shape, form, or fashion. A lot of brothers went in Christianity. All right. That's one thing in itself. It's another thing, I'll say another experience, because that's pretty much what it is. Just another experience. The Lord drags certain of his men through, before he eventually brings them to where they need to be. All right. Some brothers come from different Israelite groups, and when the Apostle Tahar says how he's going to extract his elect from these different groups before he brings them down. All right. I believe that wholeheartedly, because again, I come from this, believing that this guy that was calling himself the God sent comforter. Right. I come from that. So, and I'm not in any way, shape, form, or fashion saying that I am of the elect, but I am a testimony, So, a lot of these guys that come from this particular group, I'm familiar with them, I don't know some of them personally, but I'm familiar with a lot of these guys, such as San Miguel, they're one of the biggest scoffers out there right now. Done my testimony on that guy, slept on this man's couch, met this man's kids and everything, because San Miguel, he's a butthurt Israelite, and now he comes after all Israelite groups, he's so butthurt that he claims to be an atheist, because, again, we were all under that spell. But again, it's all the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, because a lot of these guys, such as this guy on the right, all right, they end up going back into the world, going back into Christianity, which, the scriptures say, man, you're it's better if you hadn't even known the truth, because to come into this truth, you got to understand, part of Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, which this guy doesn't believe in. Well, I'll say this because being in that organization, such as the IUIC and I'm sure many other camps, because a lot of these camps are sold out, as long as you don't teach in the names, then, pretty much you can get that bag or whatever the case may be. You pretty much be left alone, These camps, man, it's obvious that these guys are under that gag order, that 501c3. You know, that's obvious. All right. So as long as you don't teach the name, you know, and the ICGJC, as much as they try to differentiate themselves, separate themselves from the other Israelite groups, all right, ain't nothing but a big Roman Catholic Church outside of the GOCC, the ICGJC. They're the biggest, to me, in my opinion. They're the biggest Christian. They're nothing but a Roman Catholic church with fringes on. You know, and actually, when you watch this clip or when you watch this complete interview, you could see that. I could say it because again, I was there personally. You know, but nevertheless, without ranting on too much, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and play some of this clip and just through the spirit, because again, a lot of these guys are butt hurt to the point where, because we were all deceived, we were all deceived, and the Wadi Al Bashar for putting the spirit on me, because like I said, you get to a point where and I'm talking about this particular group in general, you get to a point where you hit the ceiling, you're not growing, and if you're really hungry, or you want to grow, so like I said, the Wadi Al Bashar for putting the spirit on me, after he removed me from this organization, after he removed me from this group, all right, the spirit had it to where I started fishing, and through the spirit was able to narrow it down to the point where, hey, great millstone, the apostles, man, it just makes sense, and it's only going to make sense to the elect. And again, I'm not in any way, shape, form, or fashion saying that I'm of the elect. I definitely believe I'm on the right track, but I simply don't know. I would hope so, but it just goes to show you, because a lot of these guys, man, they're so butt hurt that well, I'll say we all fell for that the switch, and these guys are bent over so bad, that they're so butt hurt. Like I said, they end up just becoming atheists. They end up going back into Christianity, but nevertheless, without ranting, I'm going to go ahead and play some of this video. I'm going to see how much I can play of it through the spirit.
God and Jesus Christ, the ICGJC. While I'm doing that, can you tell people a little bit about how you got out? Let's hear that part of the story.
Okay, how I got out, I was like, once Jermaine Grant had got arrested and it was like hiding stuff from us, that like, had me feeling some type of way. So I was already looking at it like, maybe this thing ain't right. They was just being real secretive with stuff that they wasn't before. And then, like the thing that was my final straw, because we see how the messages was shifting, the prophecies that he was speaking about wasn't coming to pass. And then the thing that really got to me is when one of my best friends.
Yeah, let me grab this. Because, again, just my personal experience, and a lot of these guys, pretty much say the same thing. As far as just a lot of things just don't add up, concerning all these false prophecies that this guy was proclaiming. Let me grab this real quick in Deuteronomy. And you start asking questions, well, at least in your mind, because within our organization, this guy that was calling himself the God sent comforter, all right, you pretty much because you see a lot of people were afraid of this guy, and I'll go as far as to say, even a lot of the people that are in that organization to this day, a lot of them are afraid to leave, because again, the ICGJC, they're not but a Roman Catholic church, so they preach that whole hell doctrine, or at least when I was in there, they preached the whole hell doctrine. The ICGJC is another, for sure. I know they switch up certain things, as far as concerning the doctrine, which that in itself is a sign to let you know that, that in itself is a red flag. Because in fact, I believe that's why, above all things, the Lord had me, go through that experience, 10 years in this group, because that's actually where I learned about the C hip, the Revelation 13, 16, and 17 being the C hip. All right. But you see, at one point they taught that, and the last I've heard or checked, they don't teach that anymore. Concerning the Revelation 13, 16, and 17, it's not the C hip, it's something else. So I feel the Yahweh Shemal Shai again allowed me to go to that experience. First and foremost, to learn about the C hip, because that's where I first learned about it, but now the doctrine has changed. And that's just one of many things, hell, I found out through the apostles, because, the apostles, they know this guy that was calling himself the God sent comforter. They know him personally, even with the organization within itself. I didn't know. If I would have known while I was a part of that, I didn't find out until after the fact. The fact that at one point they were talking about some Yahweh ben Yahweh. I didn't find that out until after the fact. If I would have known that while I was in that organization, I would have been left. But because Slaki, I was making a point earlier. We're going to make the point. Because I was mentioning how, ICGJC, man, as much as they want to separate themselves, because you know what it is. And again, I don't know the stance on it today. But at least when I was in there, because pretty much the fact that High Priest Arya, High Priest Shar are, in that organization, the ICGJC, they try to basically boast, see, we're the original, or we're the original school, and all Israel has to come to. They try to separate themselves from all the Israelite groups, because they pretty much parade High Priest Shar and High Priest Arya, like trophies. That's pretty much all they are, but nevertheless, yeah, they're another group such as IUIC that says we don't know the names, yeah, we don't know the names, Now, as of now, I don't know if that doctrine has changed, but again, as far as I was in there, when I was in there, it was taught we don't know the names of the Heavenly Father, So, just more red flags showing you that, again, these guys are sold out, right? But Deuteronomy 13, start at 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign of or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for Yahweh your power proveth you to know whether ye love Yahweh your power with all your heart and with all your soul. You shall walk after Yahweh your power, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he hath spoken to turn you away from Yahweh your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which Yahweh thy power commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. All right, so just again concerning these false prophets, again, I can confidently say, dealing with this guy Jermaine Grant, he was definitely a false prophet, because that was one of the major red flags, such as this guy on screen, myself, and many others, San Miguel, just a lot of things that this guy was saying, it just didn't add up. He would proclaim certain things and it didn't come to pass, or he would just basically move the goalposts back. you know. So like I said, you know, because you start asking questions, you know, at least within your spirit, because in that organization you can't ask certain questions, you know. A lot of people are afraid to ask questions, afraid of, you know, getting kicked out or whatever the case may be. All right, because they were actually afraid of this man, you know. And again, you know, I'll be because I was under that spell, you know. You know, I came across this guy calling himself the Holy God Sent Comforter, maybe 3 times, you know. Yeah, I came across him maybe 3 times, you know. Um, um, and looking back, you know, I didn't, you know, didn't feel nothing special. Now, and I say this all the time because even when it comes to these guys, um, you know, guys like Slaki, I don't know his rank, but the bishop himself, right? And, you know, Bishop Nathaniel, right? You know, these men, you know, I still show the reverence because these men are still over me. All right. You know, these men have been in the truth longer than I have, you know, so I still, you know, show that reverence. All right. Because these men are over me as of right now, you know. But like I said, you know, because one thing, you know, one thing I've never really been is an ass kisser, you know, and like I said, you know, when it came to the so-called God sent comforter, you know, everyone's pretty much an ass kisser to this guy, you know. Now I still show my reverence and respect, you know, even the few times I came in contact with him, because I didn't feel that feeling like, oh my goodness, this is a man of God. No, I didn't me personally, I didn't get that feeling. You know, but I still showed that respect, that reverence, you know. Now I'll be honest, you know, and again, this is not in me in any way, shape, form, or fashion, ass kissing, but this is just you know, being truthful, because you know, I got the chance to meet the apostles, Apostle Dahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramblab, you know, Bishop Manatazak, and you know certain other bishops, you know, the Elder Barak Gabar, you know, the Elder Big Gad, certain elders and men, and you definitely get this feeling of like, man, you know, these are men of the Lord, you know. These are definitely men of the Lord. You know, you just get a certain feeling, a certain vibe, you know. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and play some more.
In that call when he had got shot, you know, he got shot. He was paralyzed, and Jermaine Grant went up and visited him in the hospital, and you know, he told him that this was for the glory of God. He's going to walk again. He's going to be, you know, a sign and all this other stuff. And you know, he called me up, and we was talking for a long time. And he was so excited about it and everything, and you know, basically thinking that he was going to be able to walk and recover from this, and he was going to be used by God. Just for him to pass away right after that. So that really touched me because I'm like, you know, you gave this brother so much hope, like you've been giving us for so long, and you know, you just lied. So that was my final straw right there. I knew it was time for me to go, and so I started making my exit at that time.
Can you tell me about the process of leaving?
The process of leaving, I decided, like, when I was going to leave, I just stopped being like as involved as I was. Like, I remember the last Passover I was at, I didn't even partake in it. I didn't drink the wine. I didn't eat the bread or none of that because I was like, in my mind, honestly, I thought that this guy might try to pull a Jim Jones on us. So I didn't touch nothing that year. And then when it came up to the time for me to leave, it was like a Sabbath. They call it a Sabbath Friday night. So I was like, I'm just not going to go. They got a teacher there. He's going to teach, and I'm just going to, you know, disappear. What happened was he got called up to New York to go be part of their service up there in New York. So I had to go and teach the Sabbath service. So I was like, I'm going to go and teach the Sabbath service because I know this is what these people, you know, they look forward to. This, some of them, this is all they got. They only come here on Saturday. So I went there on Saturday. I taught the whole service. And then after the service, I had like all these newspaper clippings. I had like the court documents with Jermaine Grant. I had all this information. I took off my garment, laid it on top of the podium, put all the information on top of there. I told him, I said, you know, this is it for me. I'm leaving. This is why I'm leaving. It's here for y'all. If y'all want to look at it, if y'all want to look through it, go ahead. If not, you know, that's up to y'all. And I left from there. That was it. I got a call from my brother. He said, "You sure this is what you want to do?" I said, "Yeah." That was it.
Whoa, that's pretty intense stuff. I would say pretty intense stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong screen. That's for tomorrow's show. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so since then, what's the journey been like?
The journey at my first year, not even my first year, just like the first couple months when I came out, I wasn't.
So you see, real quick, because pretty much, there was this thing. A lot of these guys bring out the information and whatnot. All right. There was this thing where, a lot of the old heads pretty much, there was this thing of getting rid of the old heads. All right. And pretty much going after young meat, so to say, young meat such as myself. I was, what was I? I was 18. I was 19, I think. I remember I was in high school. So pretty much out with the old, in with the new, and that's why myself is included. Like I said, man, we fell for the okie doke, because when you're young and hearing these things, I remember what really got me, the man that taught me, the man that the Lord used to teach me. When he brought out the fact that Yahweh Shai is a so-called black man, like most of us, that stunned us, but not only that, when that Romans 9:13 came out, going into how the Lord does in fact hate people, that Romans 9:13, which is to quote Malachi. All right. Jacob have I loved, that Esau have I hated. That Romans 9:13, man, that was it for me. Because, like I said, brothers come from different walks of life. Before the truth, I myself was a Christian. All right. So, of course I was in that, that Jeebus love spirit, Jeebus loves everything, and all these scriptures coming out that we've never heard before. So you see, that's the thing, these are things that we've never heard before, so of course, that's going to, gravitate you. It's going to grab your attention. It's going to reel you in, And now, like I said, that was pretty much the thing that was going on, getting rid of the old heads. A lot of those guys went back to the, original school, one wet school, and, there was this whole thing of getting these new guys, the young guys, pretty much brainwashed, so to say, which, we're all brainwashed, when we first wake up to this truth. All right. We're all brainwashed in righteousness, because speaking a certain way over here in the West, the words sound worse than what they are, It's just that these people are so dumbed down and docile, because we are all brainwashed in righteousness. We're supposed to be brainwashed. All right. By the, being transformed by the renewing of our minds, but we'll play some more.
Sure, what I was going to do. I was like, do I still believe the Israelite teachings and just don't believe how Jermaine Grant did it? So I started connecting and reaching out with guys that I was, friends with and family with inside the cult, and that had been put out. And I reached out to them and I, started talking to some of them, and then it just clicked that like this wasn't a religious thing. So, this was more of a cult that we was in. So I just dropped the whole Hebrew Israelite.
And I'm gonna run that, but you see, because the scriptures say there's joy in heaven over one sinner that repenteth. All right, because each member of the elect that wakes up, that's just one day closer. Because this thing of ours it's all about the elect. All right, it's all about the elect. All right, so every member of the elect that wakes up, it's just like hey, almost there. That's just one more closer. But I just say that to say, because when you watch this interview, all right, it's like, because this dude being on Vocab's podcast, because he's going to go on to admit how he's a Christian now, and Vocab likes that, because Vocab is trying to his whole, and that's why we believe vocab is Haman. If you don't know, do your research. But you could tell vocab, he's just, we got another one. Because again, a lot of these Israelites from all, that pretty much leave these different groups, even GMS. They go back into the world, they become Christians. All right. You see vocab like stuff like that, and you can tell vocab is holding his excitement back, as these guys are giving their testimonies or whatever, because this thing is it's all about debunking the Hebrew Israelites, trying to get Jake to, trying to bring Jake back into that iron of yoke, of the bondage of Christianity, So like I quoted, there's joy in heaven over one sinner that repenteth. Well, hey, likewise on the left hand. All right, these guys get excited when another Jake leaves, and they just drop, Hebrew Israelism in general, and they like that, that's like that. Like I quoted, the one sinner. There's joy in heaven over that one sinner that repenteth. Vocab likes stuff like this. You can tell he gets off on this.
So, this was more of a cult that we was in. So I just dropped the whole Hebrew Israelite mentality and all their teachings. I got away from it, and just started reading my Bible, removing all the Israelite aspects out of it. Just start reading my Bible, and that's what brought me to Christ. So I believe I found the true Christ now. I'm a Christian.
Yeah, like I just said, you see him literally cheer, right? Vocab like stuff like that, But like I said, hey, we were all beguiled, man. We were all duped, But I mean, it's just a matter of, hey, what are you gonna do about it, man? Because like I said, these guys, they're just straight up butt hurt, And like I said, me through the Spirit and mercies of Yahweh Shema Shah, man, I just wanted to, just hungry for truth, seeking that truth. Because like I said, in that group, man, because like I said, the ICGJC, as much as they want to separate themselves, nevertheless, they're no different. All right, if you want the breakdowns, you gotta, pay $59.99, and everything is a money grab. Which, when you go on to watch this video, which is another red flag, which is why, because it's just things. It's just more and more red flags start to pop up. It's like, damn, why we gotta pay all this money? That's another thing. Like, why we gotta pay all this money, even for the breakdowns? When the scriptures clearly tell us, hey, as we got this truth for free, we're supposed to, proclaim it freely, freely as it was given to us, right? But here it is in this organization, you gotta pay for the breakdowns, you gotta pay for the DVDs, right? Everything is a money grab. And hey, I'm gonna be one to tell you, I didn't have the money. So like I said, that just, I was hungry for truth, I was hungry for that truth. And this is where, like I said, fishing, watching different camps. All right. Just seeking for that truth, because you get to that ceiling, but you want to grow. You get stagnant, but you want to grow, and that was the case for me, so just through the Spirit. Like I said, me personally, I was able to, because, once you go through this experience and, Lord, the Spirit is just dealing with you, man. It's just like, man, nope, they ain't got it. There's certain groups in general, it's like, nah, they ain't got it. Like I said, me personally, I was able to, through the Spirit and mercy of Yahweh Shema Shai, able to narrow it down, and the Lord has me where I am today, But, a lot of these guys, like I said, they're butt hurt, and they just end up forsaking, the whole Hebrew Israelism in general, period. Guys such as this, talking about he reads the Bible, without the Hebrew quote unquote Hebrew interpretation, or the Hebrew mindset, which doesn't make sense, because the whole scriptures are about the Hebrew Israelites. All right. Yahweh Bashim Shai and his people, you know. But I'm gonna grab this real quick in 1 Corinthians 4. Again, you know, a lot of these guys, they're afraid to ask questions, you know. It's just zombies, man, you know. And again, I can say that because I was there, and if the Lord didn't pull me out of there, man, I probably would still be in this crap, you know. But just the way that they train your mind to just be a straight zombie, you know, just to be a straight up zombie, you know. I mean, it's crazy, you know. Looking back, man, you know, the Wadi Al Bashim Shai, man. But you know, guys are just so butthurt, man. They just end up forsaking, you know, the truth in general, and you know, because they're that down bad, you know. But like I said, man, we were all begotten, man. We were all deceived, you know. 1 Corinthians 14. I'm gonna start at verse 15. I'm sorry, 1 Corinthians 4 and 15. For though ye have 10,000 instructors in Hamashiach, yet have ye not many fathers. For in Hamashiach Yahushai I have begotten you through the gospel. And you see, ultimately, the elect are going to follow Yahushai whithersoever he goeth. All right, the elect are going to hear Yahushua's voice. All right, and come to the true shepherds, because you know, a lot of these guys, or a lot of these groups, I realized, you know, they're pretty much entree groups. You know, they're pretty much, these groups are set up to just, you know, they're entry level groups. You know, you come in, you find out that you're a Hebrew Israelite. All right, and that's why you hear certain of the apostles and elders say, this, man, there's levels to this thing. You know, because even when I'm gonna grab this real quick, because you have a lot of camps, you know, a lot of so-called leaders in Israel, right? But even amongst the circumcision, there's an elite group that the Lord is dealing with. All right. Bear with me as I look for this. First Samuel 10. 1 Samuel 10, I'm going to start at 9. And it was so that when he had turned his back to go from Samuel, the Most High gave him another heart, and all those signs came to pass that day. And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon him, and he prophesied among them. And it came to pass, and all that knew him before time saw that, behold, he prophesying among the prophets. Then the people said one to another, what is this that is come to the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets? So just showing you there's a level to this. All right. Because this is more than knowing that you're an Hebrew Israelite. It's more, is deeper than just the fringes. Is deeper than just cursing out the so-called white man, so-called white woman. All right. Having them kiss your boot. It's deeper than that, man. You know. And like I said, you know, me personally, my testimony, like I said, man, the spirit decided I want to grow, man. Listen, I ain't had no $60 for no breakdowns to get the breakdowns, man. You know, buying all these DVD, I didn't have the money for it. So I mean, you know, I mean, you know, a young huggy Jake like that, man. What are you expecting to do? You know, and like I said, from 2009 to 2019, I was a part of this group. You know, and Tawadi al Bashim Shai, you know, because that's where the real good stories come from. You know, dealing with this, what they call in there as the Hebrew Academy, you know, getting in the ranks basically, you know, because I was beasting to get up in there, man. You know, the Wadi Al Bashim Shai, just the way that I had it at, you know, my situation at the time, I was able to join, because that's where the you know, that's where the brunt of all these you know, testimonies come from. You know, that's where the good stuff is. You know, when you get up in the ranks, and that's one thing that they push. You know, especially for the Israelite men. All right, the men, you know, getting up in the ranks, getting involved in the ranks. Boy, they put that on you heavy, and looking back, I see why, and I was never able to get up in there, the Wadi Al Bashima shot for that. Because boy, you know, um, but even with that, like I said, man, everything is a money grab, even when it comes to breakdowns, you got to pay this money, that, it's just tithes on top of tithes. Hey, I'm gonna say this. You think because we get on the so-called Christian church about passing a collection plate 2-3 times. Well, listen, that buck was always going around, and these cats were always, asking for money, demanding money. Certain, things were mandated. $200, this is mandated, and it's like, God damn, you know, paying all type of money, man. That's another thing in itself. But like I said, I just wasn't set up. I didn't have money for no damn breakdowns, but I want to learn, so eventually, like I said, and this was right around the time, this controversy, this guy calling himself the God sent comforter, you know, getting arrested, and, all these things coming out, you know, like I said, there's a lot of things. It's just like you try to bypass because in your mind, like I said, you're young, hungry Drake. You're sincere for the most part, man. So it's just like no, you bypass in your mind. You justify what I can't be. What these scoffers are saying, you know, that it can't be like it can't be that. There's just a lot of things you try to sweep under the rug and just ignore. But there's just some things that scream out at you. Like with this whole indictment thing. You know. Um, and things just started getting worse and getting worse and worse, man. Like I said, the prophecies, all these prophecies not coming to pass. They all these excuses, and it was a shit show. And like I said, hey, that's eventually just got to that point where it's just like, what, because we all have our nail in the coffin, as dude here on the right. Because that's one thing, you can't be an ex Hebrew Israelite. You can't be an ex Hebrew Israelite. That's another thing. So this JK on the right, like he mentioned, his pretty much what was the seal dealer for him. What was the nail in the coffin? What was the nail in the coffin for him? We all have our thing to where it was just like, what, it's clear, it's obvious that this ain't it, man. All right, this ain't it. All right. We all have our testimonies about that. For some people, it might be one or two things. For others, it might be several things. But the Lord makes it obvious. All right. How about Shema? He makes it obvious. These people ain't got it. And I remember getting to that point. I was just like, man, these people ain't got it. So that's when I started fishing. All right. Because Jake is hungry, man. Like I said, Jake wants that truth, man. And, it's just one of those things. It shouldn't be limited to your bank account. How much money you got. But like I just read here in 1 Samuel 10, going into how there's levels to this thing. A lot of these, majority of these Israelite groups, they're pretty much all these Israelite groups are entry level. ICGJC, they're nothing but another entry level group. You're learned that you're Hebrew Israelite. All right. But it's deeper than that, and that's why, again, like I said, and Apostle Hall always talks about how this thing of ours, what we're involved in. This thing is about learning. It's about growing. We're all becoming leaders. We're being groomed for leadership. Like I said, a lot of these guys in these other camps, man, they're just robots. I've seen it. I've been there, done that. These guys are robots. Just trying to be robots, man. Just trying to mimic, right? But clearly this thing of us, what we're involved in, this is clearly a company of prophets. All right. That's the school of prophets. All right.
That's beautiful, brother, because as you've probably seen, a lot of people get out of this and they lose their faith. Like my friend, Dominican cat, Sam Miguel, he left the ICGJC, and we're still friends, but, he's an atheist.
Right. Yeah. And I just, it was a lot because it's not, like you said, it's not that many Christians that follow Hebrew Israelites, because we're taught in there that Christianity is the white man's religion and all this other stuff. So
Which
it
it
ain't
is.
too many people that you can follow after or connect.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna grab this real quick. Because you see this dude, man. He's this ultimately, guys like this, they're not of the elect. That's all it is. It's a stumbling block. Because I mean, like I said, you leave this truth to go back into the world. And not only that, you go back to Christianity. Oh yeah, man, you're through. You are not a man of Yahweh Shema Shai. What's that? 2 Peter 2. Second Peter 2. I'm gonna read from verse 19. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome, the latter end is worse than than the beginning. So, because you see, the thing about it is, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna come back, but I'm gonna go to this Hebrews. You see, a part of what Yahweh Shema Shai, a part of his sacrifice. I believe I was going to make this point earlier. A part of part of Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, was giving us the opportunity to even receive this understanding in the first place. So when you leave this truth, the fact that Yahweh Shema Shai gave us this truth in the first place, the fact that you leave the truth, if you leave the truth, oh man, you basically spitting on the Lord's grave, so to say. That's the ultimate disrespect to the Lord, man. Hebrews 6. I'm gonna start at 1. Yeah, Hebrews 6:1. Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Hamashiach, let us go on unto perfection, not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith toward the Most High. Because listen, man, like I said, I was one of those dummies. All right, because a lot of these jakes, man, they're scared. They're scared. Because they really beat it into you to be a mindless zombie. All these other camps, they're going to hell and this, and it's like if you leave, then you ain't they put it out there. If you leave, then basically there's nowhere else to go. If you leave, there's a certain level of fear that you have, because a lot of the chicks that are in there to this day, I'm telling you, they want to leave, but they're afraid. But you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith, because I say all that to say, hey, I had that fear, man. It's like, damn, because like I said, these red flags, man, and you're questioning, you can't question, you can't ask questions, but you got all these questions in your mind, you know, all these questions that you can't ask, and that's why I can see, I can see, like I said, a lot of these guys, man, they're bad, man, a lot of these guys, man, and women, that end up leaving the ICGJC in general, man, boy, they're down bad, because it's just the programming, that what we were taught, man, you know, and in general, if you get this truth, man, you're not the same. You get this truth and you try to go back in the world, you're not the same. It's just not the same. So you see, well, a lot of these guys end up being, bug outs, man. You know, and it's cool because, and I told brothers this in my camp a couple of years ago, because a lot of the dudes outside of the apostles, a lot of dudes that I watched, the videos that I was watching, there were a lot older videos, because I would literally type in, GMS and then whatever question that I had. And a lot of older videos popped up, and learned a lot from these men, but that are now bug outs. All right, I ain't even gonna name no names, but it's just cold, man. It's a scary thing. The Lord is cold. A lot of the videos that I was watching, a lot of these dudes, man, outside of the apostles, they're bug outs now, or they've been bug outs, even before I started watching, um, you know, even before I was fully committed to Great Millstone. I didn't even know. I'm thinking these guys are still in, but no, man, they, like I said, I talked to this, mentioned this to brothers, and those dudes bug outs, man. They been gone. Like, damn, but that's what, and then, slowly but surely I started watching videos, seeing videos such as the Elder Manat Zakba, and, certain elders or whatnot. Little by little, I'm getting familiar with a lot of, the elders or whatnot. But outside of the apostles, I would see all these guys, man, and I see them now, These, guys got pink hair, smoking cigars and just, they're just all through, man. They're just through and through, you know, because like I said, you're not the same. Once you get this truth, you're not the same, man. Gotta understand the level of spirituality that, that comes with being in this thing of ours. We're basically spiritually institutionalized, if I said that right. Just like someone's incarcerated all their life, or they're incarcerated most of their life, because that's why, for the most part, the Lord brings us in while we're young. Like I said, I had to be 18 or 19. I was in high school, when I first heard this truth. A lot of brothers come in young, Why is that? Because we have more to lose, or more to sacrifice, You see, and the scriptures tell us that, to seek the Lord in our youth. The Lord's called a lot of us while we were young men, So, going back to this in Hebrews 6:2, of the doctrine of baptisms and of laying on of hands, and of resurrection of the dead, and the eternal and of eternal judgment. And this will we do if the Most High permit. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted of the heavenly gift, and were made partakers of the Holy Spirit, and have tasted the good word of the Most High and the powers of the world to come, if they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucify to themselves the Son of the Most High afresh, and put him to an open shame. So you see, man, because this is, again, for Jake to come into this truth, that in itself is a gift. All right, like I said, this is why a lot of Jake, man, they're bugged out. You're not the same. I was just making an example. Someone that is incarcerated most of their life. They try to come back into the world, man. Be a functioning member of society. They don't really know how to function because they've been incarcerated all their life. And it's the same concept, so to say, in this thing of ours. Because this thing of ours, like I said, is deeper than just knowing that you're an Israelite. It's deeper than just the fringes. It's deeper than just, having the so-called white man kiss your boot, man. It's deeper than that. This is a way of living. It's a lifestyle. It's a life change. This is a whole way of living. So you try to go back into the world after receiving this truth, after having this truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You're not the same person. And this is why these guys, man, they're bugged out, man. Those demons, they come back. That one demon, comes back with 7 more demons. So now you have 8 demons on you, just completely bugged out. Right. But basically, again, cases like that where you get this truth and then you go back into the world, you're basically spitting on the Lord's grave. You're basically crucifying the Lord again. It's just the ultimate disrespect, because like this Jake, man, again, you can't be a ex-Hebrew Israelite. That's what vocab wants to hear. I'm a Christian now. you know, that's music to vocab Malone. That's music to his ears. But yeah, man, that's the ultimate disrespect, man.
So I had to do it on my own as far as my Christian path, but I do still study and speak to a lot of Hebrew Israelites that also have found Christianity too.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm glad you're here today to give people hope and encouragement.
Yes,
and
definitely.
A couple comments that you might find interesting. Reno, who I believe you know.
Yes, I know.
He says specifically, so I think my guess is he knows the gentleman that you were talking about, because I'm trying to find the comment, bro. Just give me 1 second. He said, R.I.P. Saint Hood.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty much it on that, man. I'm gonna go back to the 2 Peter 2 and 19, or 20 rather. 2 Peter 2 and 20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Yahushua HaMashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. So you see, man, oh boy, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai, he has special judgments for cats like this, man. I would say I feel sorry for you, but I don't. You know, hey, it sounds cold, but hey, better them than me, you know, because I watch a lot of these videos, you know, all these guys speaking out, you know. I'm not going to say, because, you know, when these topics, especially the ICGJC, I'm not going to say it's personal, because it's not. I can care less, you know. But like I said, I've been down that path. The Lord, you know, gave me that experience. So, you know, when all these guys come out with their testimonies and things that nature, I keep up. Like I said, I'm not going to say it's personal, you know, for me, because it's not. But verse 22. It says, but it is happened unto them according to the true proverb. The dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. So you see, man, and this dude is just a clear cut sample of a dog returned to his vomit. All right, you know, the Lord took the spirit from this man. You know, if he ever had it. You know, and ultimately he's not one of the elect. You know, ultimately, he's not one of the elect. Because out of all things, you know, to go back to Christianity, oof, you know, man, hey, like I said, better these people than me. You know, guys like San Miguel, to where you just so butthurt, you don't believe in the Most High at all. You don't believe in God at all. It's like, goddamn, wait, better these people than me. You know. But you know, that's pretty much it on that. Lord willing, this was edifying. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem El Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully.